My name is Sheikh Mohammed Fawaz. I am studying in Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. I am currently pursuing my engineering in artificial intelligence in 6th semester. So today I'll be discussing a topic in software engineering. So the topic for the day is software process models. So in this video we'll be learning what are software process models, how are they used, and what are its key essential components, and how it is implemented in software engineering. So let's get started. So first, what is a process? So basically a process is when you give some input and you get some output. So it can be consisting of certain activities and ordering among activities, etc. Sometimes software process is also called methodology. People are always, everything involves some use of resources, and it also consists of software process models, a software development life cycle, process description that are very clear and specific, should be complete, clear and consistent. So why software process? So the quality of the product is defined by the quality of the process. So any process, any product you take, how it is developed and what are its key components, how we design them are the essential steps that lead to a good quality product. So let's take an example: garbage in, garbage out. So you get the right requirements. So through garbage out, so get right process. So good process, good input, good output, a good bad process, bad output. So basically the process are the steps or the essential activities that are used to design a software and which leads to the end software product. So software lifecycle models. So generic software process models, we have different models. As example, waterfall model, incremental model, spiral model, formal system model, reuse based development models. So waterfall is the most primitive model that is used for development. In this type of model, uh, it each and every phase is distinct and it is separated from in each other. In this, you once you complete one phase, you move on to the next phase, but you are not allowed to come back to the previous phase. This model is very rigid and it is not flexible. This is used for basic simple software developments in a small scale. It was followed earlier as the first primitive model, but now people don't use it due to its rigidity. Next, we have the incremental development model. Each increment represents one functionality or one feature in the software. Based on the user feedback, we again perform another incremental step depending on the user requirement. It can lead to n number of iterations, which is a disadvantage for it, but it is very good because it provides flexibility for the user to change the requirement depending on what they want. Then we have the spiral model, which runs in spiral shapes, where we start in the first step defining the requirement and what are the essential features we require in our software. Then comes the second cycle, in which we design the essential components, or we say analysis, design, or evaluate. Then we have the implementation phase, where we code, test, and do all the things. Then comes the deployment phase, where we finally deploy it in the servers and we test the user, we do the stress test, load test, etc. And then we come back with another incremental stage. Likewise, we have the formal system development, reuse development models. So like I discussed, waterfall model. In this, first is software requirement analysis, then planning, then we need to design based on the requirement, implementation, testing, verification, and then release. This is how the waterfall model 2 looks like after a few refinements in 2000. So requirement definition, design, development and unit testing, integration and system testing, and operation and maintenance. Like I said, it is inflexible for projects into different stages. It is used for small scale projects. It is difficult to change based on customer requirements. It is not flexible. This model is appropriate when requirements are well understood and predefined and we don't have any further changes. It also leads to simply under complex software development, where the software is less developed and we cannot have further enhancements. Big design upfront. Time spent early on making sure that requirements and designs are correct in useful, and simplicity and controllability. Then we have the incremental development model. uh, in this, we define the requirements, assign the requirements, design the architecture, develop the basic requirement. Then each step we validate it and integrate it and again validate. So it's again a recurring model where each step is a feature we are adding into the model, and again we come back with some feedback from the customer and we try to implement it. So advantages is it is flexible. Earlier increments acts as a prototype to develop and elect requirements for later increments. Lower risk of overall project failure. Higher priority systems tends to receive the most testing. Spiral development process is represented as a spiral rather than a sequence of activities with backtracking. Each loop is a phase, like I said, no fixed phases because it depends on the customer feedback and everything. Then, in this, risk are managed, explicitly assessed, and resolved. Then we have the spiral model, like I discussed. Okay, these are, you can just go through them. Yeah, when we have is extreme programming. It's a new approach to develop based on development and delivery of small incremental models. So it's a constant code improvement, user involvement in development and pairwise. And recently it's also known as agile methodology or scrum methodology. So capability maturity models where we initialize, repeatable, define, manage, and optimize. So it is for assessing and improving each and every component designed in the software and increasing its functionality depending on the user's feedback. So it is widely used in softwares where it is a small scale project to derive a large scale. Some CMM's observations: the number of companies using CMMs have been doubled in the 5 years. It is having high level of quality assurance, and it also increases the product output. And on an average, it takes around 2 to 25 months to move from one level to another level. Depending on each levels, we have the different probabilities. Then we have the software process variability. Software processes may vary radically from one organization to another. It depends on various factors such as organization culture, application domain, and disciplinary involvement, technical maturity, and use case development. It depends, depending on what they want, and it depends. We have product based as well as service based, where each and everything has to streamline with their own company's cultures. And then what kind of software process are you using? So just let me know down in the comments and how you are trying to do that and what are the key essential components you're using in the projects, etc. So I hope you understand what is software engineering. Thank you.